So today we are doing another watch review, and I'm just going to go ahead and preface this by saying this might be the nicest watch that I've ever had the pleasure of reviewing on the channel. I mean, this one's on another level. I'm just going to tell you that right now, and that's not hype. I'm telling you, this one seems pretty freaking sweet. And this watch is from a brand called Nivada Grenchen. I hadn't heard anything about them. I was contacted by them, and then as usual, I did some research on it, and I found that they had a very interesting history. Now, the brand says they started in 1926, so they are quickly approaching their 100th birthday, which I think is super cool. They were also one of the first to make the automatic watch, and in 1955, their automatic waterproof timepiece went with members of the American Navy Deep Freeze 1 on their trip to explore the South Pole from 1955 to 1956. Their site too has a lot more of their history listed, but looking this over, it really made me think a brand that's been around this long must really know what they're doing. And again, when I got my hands on one of their watches, I knew immediately this was probably the nicest watch I've had the chance to review. This is the Nivada Grenchen Depthmaster White Pac-Man. I'm assuming it's called Pac-Man from the character looking part there on the bottom of the face, but honestly, this is one hell of a timepiece. There's so much to talk about, so I'm just going to start with the specs, starting first with the case, which they say is a 316L stainless steel polished and brushed case with a screw down crown. The glass on top, of course, is listed as sapphire crystal. Moving over to the dial now, it's a nice matte black, and I love the hands. They complement it very well, being a shiny silver. The movement inside is listed as a self-winding Soprod P024 date version with 28,800 vibrations per hour. They also say this one has a power reserve of 38 hours and it's water resistant to 100 ATM with automatic helium escape valve for saturation diving. Bringing it all together now, just looking at it as a whole, it's just all class in my eyes. It's just so classy. It has a bit of a vintage feel to it, but it also feels so solid that it somehow feels old and new at the same time. It's really hard to explain, but hopefully you can see just by looking at it what I'm talking about. I can't get over how cool this looks. I love how the colors complement each other, how the silver sits on the matte black. I mean, it just looks so awesome. I love the way this watch looks, in case you couldn't tell already. I want to talk about this dial real quick though. This thing right here, it's so satisfying. I really don't know what it's for. Maybe somebody in the comment section, you guys helped me out with a question on the clasp the last time. Maybe you guys can help me out on this here. What is this for? Why does it spin like that? I'm sure there has to be a reason other than it being really fun to fidget with. Looking back at the watch now though, this one came with the steel band, but you can also get it in leather if you prefer. I happen to think the steel band is perfect for this watch. It complements it very well. And on the wrist, oh my lord, this thing feels nice. I'm beginning to understand what some of you have said in the past about knowing what a quality watch feels like. I've definitely not felt a timepiece this nice before on the wrist, or in general, really. I've had a few that have felt close to this, but this is just another level. I think for pairings too, as far as fashion goes, this is one that I think could go with anything. I mean, it's silver, so you can pair that with whatever you want, and then the face is black, so just based on looks alone, this can go with t-shirts, suits, jackets, whatever you want, really. I think too, it's got good enough materials to probably take a beating if you needed it to, but it's nice enough for me that I personally would keep it safe for special occasions. I don't have the luxury really of getting timepieces as nice as this very often, so it's really my instinct to keep this one safe. In the end here though, I can 100% see why this company has been in business for so long. These guys clearly make fantastic timepieces. I'm just completely blown away by how good this thing feels on the hand, on the wrist, just in general. And before you say, oh, he's overreacting, he's just hyping it up, consider the watches that I've reviewed on the channel. Go back and look at a couple. Those are the only ones that I've been exposed to. And compared to almost all of those, this one looks and feels undeniably superior. I'm of course not saying it's better than anything else. I'm just simply comparing it to the ones that I've reviewed and been exposed to. But of course, the final verdict is up to you. And if you'd like to check out this watch from Nivada Grenchen, you can find it at the link below, where you can also check out some of the other awesome watches in their lineup. That pretty much does it for me though for this video. I hope you enjoyed checking out this watch with me. I really am interested in what your thoughts are, so leave it in the comment section. Help me out with that question too. I'm really curious about that dial. While you're there too, help me out and do the big three for me: like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate that very much. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.